Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome back to the breakfast show. Still solo leveling this week because Jose is chilling in his Florida mansion with all of his AI gains. Now, in today's stream, we of course have to talk again about Google because, why not? Right? Why not? Huge win for us Google shareholders. We're going to talk about that in case you missed the video that was released late last night. We're, of course, going to look at the market, look at some specific stocks as well. We already have some analyst commentary on Google with some price targets that are, of course, higher than where the price is at right now. Surprise, surprise. Now, of course, good morning to everyone in the chat. Really appreciate all of you coming in, whether it's super early for you in the United States or it's just the afternoon for us Europeans, or maybe it's late if you are in Asia or Australia. So that's good. Jose dropping videos from Florida. Yep, probably chilling there as well now that Google is also up quite a significant amount. Now, first up, as always, we have to go and look at the pre-market, right? Maybe some activity in Europe as well. So currently, Europe is green across the board. Asia is mixed or red, basically. That's Asia right now. Still, tariff concerns. Pre-market in the United States, Dow is basically flat. Then we have S&P and NASDAQ up a little bit. Of course, after yesterday, will take a little bit of green, although I will still go back to what I said yesterday. I wouldn't mind stocks go down even further until we actually get some real deals. Now, a McLaren advertisement. That's interesting. Google, Alphabet, that's up 6.8% right now pre-market. When the market opens, of course, a lot can happen. I don't want to try something out because it's not that good of a display. If I turn it up a little bit like this, no, doesn't change much. Anyways, Google. This is the question. Google $3 trillion by new year. Why not? Right? I've seen someone ask, why shouldn't Google be the most valuable company today? The easiest answer is because NVIDIA exists, right? So NVIDIA, still number one. Nvidia is at, what is it? Still 4.15. So could Google be worth $4 trillion today? I don't see why not. I don't see why Google couldn't be the second most valuable company on the planet. I mean, if we go and compare it, I still have new here. If we go and compare, let's say, Nvidia, let's put Microsoft, let's put Apple, and then Alphabet. Let's just look at net income for now, for all of those companies. Net income over the past, let's do, 5 years, doesn't really matter that much. Are all of them clicked? Yeah. Okay, so let's do last 12 months. Maybe let's just look at the last couple of years, because otherwise it will look a bit strange. So let's do last 5 years approximately. So what do we have here? What do we have here? We have Google at $115.5 billion in net income. Then number two is Microsoft at $101.8 billion in net income. Then you've got Apple just under 100, well, just under $99.28 billion. And then you've got Nvidia at $86.5 billion in net income, of course, growing the fastest here. But why should Google, with, of course, the most net income in the last 12 months from now, be so far behind an Nvidia, even a Microsoft, market cap wise? Especially now that we've got that overhang that's gone. Why shouldn't that be the case, right? Why shouldn't it be able to add another $1 trillion in market cap over the next couple of months? I don't see why not. Because it is it just is an amazing business that's extremely profitable. And now that we don't have that overhang anymore. And look at Apple. I mean, Apple is, I know I keep saying the same thing time and time again, but let's just look at Apple and Google. Apple net income basically peaked here in 2022. It's been down since then, right? It literally did nothing for 3 years. And yet Apple is bigger than a Google right now. Still. If we look at Microsoft, compare it also to a Google, same thing here. Same thing as Google. Microsoft, what did it do here? Yeah. Okay, Microsoft peaked same date. Okay, the whole market peaked back then, went back down a little bit, and we made our way back up, so you can understand why Microsoft is where it's at right now. But what about Google? Do we still have that, oh, Google will be destroyed by ChatGPT, Google this, Google that, or are we past it? Right? I think that's the question right now. Are we past it? I think we are. And yes, of course, only pumping Google, only pumping a $2.5 trillion company, of course. Maybe we should check up on the guy that decided to short Google, because that was the best idea he could find. Right? Shorting Google is the best thing you could have done over the past couple of weeks. Makes absolute sense. Do you think, Couch Incestor, that's a very interesting typo you had there. Do I think it might have stopped bear market's not really a bear market, it's just a September jitters, maybe. I don't think so. I think there's more macro at play than a Google specific thing here. So yeah, Google, I think, can definitely still continue to go up. I think Google is still undervalued here. Even with the recent rise, I think we can still go up quite a lot. Eddie asking the billion-dollar question. Can you explain why Apple is up? I'm confused if the exclusivity deal is canceled or not. What is going to continue and what is canceled? So They can continue the payments. Google can continue the payments, and that's why Apple is up. It's just that it's not an exclusivity deal anymore. That's it. Of course, the question is, since it's not an exclusivity deal anymore, how much will Google pay Apple? That's the question. According to our good friend, Gene Munster thinks that he expects in 5 years' time, Google will still be paying Apple around 20 billion a year for search placement because, I mean, whenever we talk about Google, Gene has to find ways to pump up Apple because, I mean, it makes sense, right? It absolutely makes sense. It was also funny, and of course, the sirens again here. It was also interesting to me that on August 8th, he tweeted out and said, "My tune is changing on Google. They are handling AI well, and I expect another major overhaul next May, one that delivers a unified AI-powered Google experience across a single surface." I covered this in a specific video on the channel. This, of course, had nothing to do with the fact that Google stock went up, right? This had nothing to do with the fact that Google stock went up in a V-shaped type of recovery. All right? Right? Exactly. Also, by the way, yes, I know Open Door was up yesterday 14%. It's up another 4% pre-market. We're back above $5. So congrats to all of us degenerate gamblers. It's been quite a ride, and I don't think we're done just yet. But I did found it quite interesting that when I search for the Open ticker on X, this is the communities that you get. It's quite interesting. Maybe this is the new business model. Maybe this is what will bring us to $82 or maybe even more. Who knows, right? It's very extremely helpful at exchanging info and whatever else you need. Open Door opens up the communities with open arms and legs maybe also. I'm in a very good mood this morning. In case you didn't notice, actually, that was a very good joke for my part. Anyways, moving on here to some Google commentary. So we've got Barclays comments on on Google. So Google's forward PE multiple expanded around 40% from late 2012 through the end of 2013 after the FTC dropped its case, which even if we discount significantly in today's terms, would set a path to north of $300 per share. So here again, we're just talking, or they are just talking about multiple expansions, not about changes in EPS expectations or whatnot. The backdrop of that major overhang being removed back then is potentially similar to the backdrop today, with the course remedies being benign and the AI technology shift today being analogous to the risk from desktop transitioning to mobile back in 2012. After over 5 years of courtroom drama, Google is only facing a few minor flesh wounds with this remedy package, which, by the way, they can still appeal, and I think they will, and so this thing can get stretched even more and more. And so they are, I don't even see here a price target, but they are quite, I mean, just by that 40% multiple expansion, we get quite some upside here at $300 per share. So that was Barclays. KeyBank does have a price target here of $265. That's basically 21 times the 2027 estimated PE. I thought someone was breaking in, but that's just the automatic lock kicking in. Always something crazy. The DOJ ruling came in better than feared, and we believe this acts as a clearing event for Alphabet shares to trade at least in line with the S&P 500. I mean, at least in line with the S&P 500. It's, of course, one of the best companies in the S&P 500, if not the world. Given improved competitive prospects in AI and Google Cloud's rapid growth, our view is investors will return to look at underlying asset value and whether the discount on Google services makes sense with our math. suggesting these assets are trading at around 15 times 2027 PE. They, of course, see further room for share price appreciation with their 21x multiple. So very good there. Before going to the last one here, you all appreciate my jokes. Thank you very much. Have you ever thought of doing stand-up comedy? I did. Although it's quite interesting to say this when I'm live, but I usually hate to talk in front of an audience. But no, it's definitely something I would like to do in the future. I do have some very good sketches, yeah, and jokes written down, inspired by a couple of other comedians out there. But maybe in the future we go from couch investor to couch comedian. Who knows? Then Morgan Stanley, the next Google is most likely Google. I mean, it's quite interesting to see everything that we've been saying for the last couple of months, and now we're seeing it again just because the price is going up. And of course, that ruling went in their favor, even though they still have to do a couple of extra things here and there. But Morgan Stanley here also $260 for their bull case. Yeah, a bit the old joke of wood in FPL shim. Yeah, and I mean, don't talk to me about that. Horrible. Haven't touched wood in over a year. And the one time I touch and I captain, he does absolutely nothing. And they get destroyed by a team that got destroyed for the last 2 weeks. It's quite interesting. Quite interesting. But it is what it is. We're still early. Any advice for young investors trying to understand a sector's companies? Any good website you can recommend? I am 23 years old. Well, YouTube is a good one. There are some very good investors, creators out there with some good information. And then books, lots of books out there, lots of free information on the internet. Maybe use Gemini, maybe use ChatGPT, Perplexity. It, of course, is one of the better ways today to go around these things. I mean, the internet is huge. YouTube is free. So there is plenty of information out there that you can find to understand specific companies, sectors as well. And then if you choose specific companies, for example, Google, just go on Google's website, investor relations, start reading the reports, start reading the transcript or listening to earnings calls. It's always the best ways, of course, to learn more about about a company. Don't push it. Although I do think the couch behind me here is quite a good one. Quite a good one. Correct. Speaking in front of a camera is different from speaking. That is true. Although we are live now. But I agree. I 100% agree. Uber partnership with Dollar Tree. It's not a new one. I don't think it's a new partnership, because I did see more. I did see this announced a couple of weeks ago, I think. So no, I did not speak about that because I don't know. It's not that big of a deal, I think. I did also see Best Buy. I think they also teamed up with Best Buy and Dollar General. Dollar General or Dollar Tree, or is that the same thing? I don't think it's the same thing. But Google has been Uber has been doing very well. Or Google has been doing very well as well. But yeah, Uber has been holding up nicely, although you might say this was maybe a double top here at $97 or so. But with all of the autonomous vehicle talk and launches, even from Waymo, as we've talked about that yesterday, right? Waymo is planning on launching in Denver and Seattle later this year. You would think that an Uber would have been crushed again, just like, where was it? Just like, late late last year. But no, Uber is crushing it. The stock is doing very well this year. The business is doing very well. So we are quite happy, quite happy with that. CoreWeave did get crushed yesterday. Yesterday it was down 9.4%. Iron ended up the day actually up almost 10%, and it's up another, well, a little bit pre-market. So we're at $30.60. I was live yesterday when this was down to around $25 or so. Should have been buying shares. Should have been buying shares. I didn't. But then again, I will probably be buying if we do get a little bit more red, because I do want to own a little bit more of iron. Bitmine was also down, was green, and now it closed out yesterday down 2.5%. So for whoever is interested in getting exposure to Ethereum as a maybe more leveraged, I think Bitmine is maybe the way to go. If you trust, of course, Tom Lee, I think he knows that. I mean, if I would like to get a lot of exposure to Ethereum, for example, I would buy this as a leverage play on Ethereum and trust Tom. Again, it's not his company, it's just chairman, but I would trust the team behind it to do the best with what's ahead, Ethereum wise and whatnot. Nebius was down 3.8. Like I said, not enough. I mean, the last time I added was at that price. So if we can go lower, then fine. If we're not, then not. Couch, did you start your investing journey with a good amount of cash, or no? I did not have a good amount of cash. I started with, is that Cristiano Ronaldo in the picture? I started with, I can tell you exactly, I think 1,765 euros or something like that. I bought VOO, Microsoft, and Coca-Cola. I think those were my first buys, and that was almost 10 years ago. So, no, I wish I started with a good amount of cash, but no, only that amount. And of course, as I worked and this and that, you of course assemble a lot more money, and then you invest in good companies, and sometimes you do hit the jackpot much sooner than you expect, and suddenly that amount grows very quickly. And then we had the craziest 5 years, I think, in the stock markets, maybe history. At a pandemic, huge crash, then for a whole year stocks went up like there's no tomorrow, then a big crash in 2022, and then 2.5 years of bull market when also things went up quite a lot. We suddenly have a complete new technology that's changing everything. Of course, you have to adapt, but yeah, it's been an interesting 10 years. It's been an interesting 10 years. Rolls-Royce. Hey, the reason I don't want to look at Rolls-Royce is because I know the price of the stock I had in my father's portfolio not that long ago, and we sold it because I didn't want to follow Rolls-Royce anymore, and I know how much it went up. But since you're asking so nicely, Rolls-Royce, it's on the London Stock Exchange. My God. Look at this. Incredible. It's basically over the last, it's up more than 10x. It's up more than 10x since 2023, start of 2023. We did have here as well. It doubled since that crash here in April because of the tariffs. But it seems like right now it's been trading for around a month and something at around the same prices, hovering around that 1,000 pound, not dollars. But again, this doesn't tell you anything about the company. It just tells you something about the ticker. Let's see. Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce, of course, makes engines for planes. So you can see it operates in 4 segments: civil aerospace, power systems, defense, and new markets, whatever new markets means. whatever that means. Company worth around 90 billion pounds. It's been growing quite rapidly over the last 3 years, expected to grow 9.7% compounded over the next two, but EPS expected to grow 26.6%. Margin-wise, not bad at all for such a company. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Over the last 3 years, stock is up 1,359%. But then again, it's also the same with the German company Rheinmetall, right? Rheinmetall, defense company. Well, yeah, call it defense company in Germany. The last 5 years, stock is up 2,100%. Over the last 3 years, also up 1,000%. It's just insane, just insane. So yeah, there are definitely a lot of good companies. Although you might say, but you missed the boat here. Yeah, maybe you've missed like the easy gains for sure, because even year to date, thing is up 191%, but it's still expected to grow rapidly over the next couple of years. You're of course paying the price for it, but you do get growth. You do get growth from that. CoreWeave is still down pre-market. Is it still down? Yeah, I mean, probably if you say so, it's probably, yeah, a little bit, not much, 0.4%. It's not such a big deal. 0.4% is not such a big deal. Did you start by buying options or just shares? I mean, I never touched options until last month. Last month was the first time I actually bought Intel options or options overall, and now I have Intel options and PayPal ones, and and some Enphase, but that's just very, very small. Yeah, only bought, and now I'm only usually buying shares of companies. So Rolls-Royce. Quickly going back to that. And you can see why there was a huge reversal, why there was a crash. Right? You went from 16.5 billion, is it pounds? Yeah, pounds, to 11.2 billion in just 2 years. And then you go from $11.2 billion to now $19.5 billion. And that's still expected to grow. Not that fast. 3.9% in this fiscal year, then 9.4 in the next one, and 7.6 in the one after that. Free cash flow wise, let's see what they've been doing. Free cash flow. Let's see. So free cash flow, of course, huge decrease here in 2020, 2021, and then flipped in 2022. And since then, it's gone up and up and up, and still expected to go up, although only, decreasing 2.8% this fiscal year, with some acceleration in the upcoming 2 fiscal years. Again, it's a good company, I guess, to own, but the easy gains have been made with Rolls-Royce, in my opinion. I think that the easy gains have been made. Going back to what has happened yesterday. So yesterday, remember when we closed out the stream, stocks were much redder than this. I think it was dark red, dark red across the board. It closed out better, I think, towards the end of the day. We did see a little reversal. Palantir closed out the day green. Nu was green. Rocket Lab was green. Marvell was green. Of course, Marvell got completely crushed on Friday, and Iron was up close to 10%. All the rest here barely down 1%. PayPal was down 1.3 because why not? Oscar was down 1.38, but yeah, we closed out the day better than expected. Zeta was I think having an okay day until that one took a hit. So that finished down 5.6%. Applied Digital down 4.5%. And Nebius we've seen. Robinhood finished the day at 100, so still keeping keeping that 100 here. It did drop below that 50-day moving average, but did rebound. And thank you, Charles, for becoming a member of the channel. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Did I have to make many sacrifices? No, I don't think I should call them sacrifices, just choices. Just choices. Less parties, more investing. Don't think it's a sacrifice. I worked when I studied. Don't think it's a sacrifice either. It's just a choice. Just a choice. And I'm quite happy with it because, let's be honest, you have your select group of friends that you grew up with. Maybe you made some new friends along the way, but the uni friends, let's call them, rarely hang around. So no, not sacrifices at all. Do I see Google going higher? I do think we're going higher. Will there be profit taking? There is always profit taking in every stock. Will I take profits? No, I will not be taking profits of Google anytime soon. Duolingo is at a very interesting level right now. It's not oversold, but it's at a level where previously back in April here, though it did go a little bit lower, $275. Not far from that. So could we bottom out here? Could this be a higher low type of thing? Maybe. I do still think that this reaction here is quite ridiculous. It's quite ridiculous. But yeah, the market in the short term will do whatever, and then it will correct itself. Do I follow any oil energy tickers? I do not, unless you call First Solar and Enphase energy tickers. But no, I do not follow Chevron or ExxonMobil or something like that. What are my thoughts on NEO? I know that NEO reported yesterday, was up 3%. Look, NEO is an interesting play, although again, why buy NEO if you could be buying BYD? Because if you buy NEO, it's purely because you think if you want exposure to a Chinese automaker. But if you want a Chinese automaker, why not buy the number one, which is BYD? Or you could say that Tesla in China is also a player there. But my issue with NEO is that they've always tried to do more and more and more and more instead of focusing on one thing that they can do well. I mean, this thing has been burning money left, right, and center for quite a long time. I did put this stock in a video at the start of the year as a stock that could potentially double, just because of the stock price. At the start of the year, we're around $4 or so. Not that far away from that prediction. We're not that far away from that prediction. Would I invest in it? No, I would not. I would not. Whoa, Charles. Charles not only became a member of the channel, but Charles with a huge super chat here, $100. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that. Thanks for all the great work. Truly amazing. Would it be possible to share some of your thoughts on Salesforce, personally picking up 400 shares at current prices? You know, Salesforce, they're reporting, I think this week, right? I think today. Wait, let me make sure that I know what I'm saying right now. I think they're reporting today, if today is Wednesday. Because the fact that the market was not open on Monday, like yesterday, 3 times I had to remind myself that we are Tuesday, not Monday. But yes, Salesforce does report later today. That's going to be a very interesting report. I do think they crush it. I'm saying this, one, because the stock has been crushed. So that's one. Company is very cheap for what it delivers. And 3, it's still a very good company. It's still a very good company. I did see Benioff. How do we write that name? Benioff with 2 Fs, maybe. I think so. Let's see. Voila. Mark Benioff here with Elon and Optimus. The boys are back in town. Amazing what Elon Musk is doing to create the future. Just inspiring. This was today, this morning. This was today, this morning. I don't know what this means, but Salesforce is here on top. He did say something. I think he did say that AI agent did replace 4,000 support workers or something like that, or maybe tickets. But yeah, Salesforce. Let's quickly look at the company. Salesforce right now is a company worth $241 billion. It's currently experiencing still a 30% drawdown from its peak back in November of last year. Year to date, the stock is down 23%. Now, Salesforce is, of course, a tremendous company with high margins, gross profit margin, free cash flow margins, net profit margins, you name it. It's not a company that's growing as fast as before. Some say that, yeah, the only reason that Salesforce is growing is because of the acquisitions that they're making. And that's true. They've been making quite a lot of acquisitions over the past couple of years. But the fact that we still get, and I'll show you in a bit the margin growth over the years, the fact that you're still getting here a free cash flow margin of 32.8%, even after all of these acquisitions, means that they are doing something right, right? They're doing something right. Now, of course, with Agentforce, and this is something that we can look at right here with the AI summary. I wonder if they probably touched on Agentforce here. Yeah, so Agentforce, they expect it to become more financially material in fiscal year 27. So next year for them, right? We're talking about fiscal years here, not calendar years. They did say that Agentforce deals closed 8,000 deals to date. Data Cloud and AI annual recurring revenue surpassed $1 billion. I still think this is an underappreciated company, undervalued as well. I will show you Salesforce margin revenue real quick. Actually, no, we have net income up. So let me show you net income and the price and the stock price, because that's usually a very cool thing to look at. Let's remove this and let's wait until it loads. So let's do annually and over the last 10 years. Okay, so this is net income and stock price for Salesforce. What we can see, of course, is usually stock price. Here you can see it follows net income. Net income crushed, stock price crushed. Net income goes up, stock goes up. Although right now we are seeing that the stock went down while net income stayed the same, grew a tiny bit. Looking at some other metrics, revenue, free cash flow margin, and operating free cash flow margin, gross profit margin. Look at what has happened over the last 10 years. Gross profit margin, 77.3%, 10 years ago, 75.2%. Free cash flow margin, 10 years ago, 14.4%. Today, 32 let's call it 8%. And that did grow and accelerate, expanded, over the last couple of years. We were at around 20%, 19% or so. And then suddenly we went 27.2, 32.8, and now 32.8 here as well. So it's not like this company is dying. It's just not growing as fast as before. Could this be an opportunity? I think so. We've seen the stock's reaction from a MongoDB, for example. Last week, MongoDB went up 30% after they reported. Yeah, guess what? A very good quarter. But yeah, Salesforce is already a very big company, so I'm not expecting it to grow extremely rapidly, but it is still growing, right? This is what has happened with Salesforce over the years. It's too far, so let's do 10 years. And let's look at what the market expects it to do over the upcoming years. Still expected to grow almost double digits. Right? We do see an acceleration in growth here, or the market's expecting this company to accelerate revenue growth. And if they accelerate revenue growth while maybe also expanding margins or keeping free cash flow margins the same, this means they will generate more free cash flow, which allows them to, of course, buy back more shares, issue a dividend, or maybe acquire more companies. As long as they can acquire companies and integrate it well while not paying too much for it, I think they'll be fine. Yes, I do think that they overpaid for Slack. Okay, I do think that they overpaid for Slack. But yes, going into the earnings report, I think Salesforce might be a good earnings play. Will it go up 30% like MongoDB? No, absolutely not. Just a huge company. So hopefully that's worthy of your a worthy answer to your super chat, Charles. And again, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And also thank you to the new member of the channel, a lazy boy investor, actually. So I appreciate that here as well. What do you think about Adobe? A bit of the same. A bit of the same as a Salesforce. It's undervalued. It's undervalued. Market does not appreciate it. Still thinks that it will get destroyed. But yeah, this one, what is it? A drawdown of almost 50%, but that's the highs here back in. So let's do 3 years. So better, 45%. And over the last year, still a drawdown of 41%. Also, margin-wise, extremely good. Extremely good. They could even lower their margins in case they want to really be more aggressive and highly, highly competitive in all of this AI creator wave. How? Maybe acquire a company, right? But do they need it? I don't know. I've showed you last week Firefly and the fact that Firefly has all of the models that came out for image generator, right? Integrated on their platform. I am also in contact with someone at Adobe. So maybe we'll try and do something together. Maybe we can have an interview here on the channel. Who knows? But it's in the works. It's in the works. I will not say anything more than that. So we'll see. We'll see how things evolve. But yeah, Adobe, I do think Adobe does report next week or 2 weeks from now. Same thing here. I do think it's undervalued. The market just wants to hear them say that, look, we are seeing more activity with our products thanks to AI, thanks to our AI offerings, etc., etc. Yes, I do know that they're talking about the ARR from AI. What was it? Let's see if I can find it here. It's a very, very look. The company also is tracking ahead of its $250 million ending ARR target for its direct AI book of business by the end of the fiscal year. $250 million ending ARR is not a lot. Okay, is not a lot at all. It's a nice number, but I don't think that's what the market wanted to get from Adobe. Hello there, new member of the channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Will Google destroy Adobe? No, I don't think so. Again, you can use the Google model in Adobe Firefly. Let's see if I can pull it up again. So new models comes out, integrated in Adobe Firefly, and you get to work. So it's not, look, it's this. You go here, you go to models, and you have the new Gemini Nano Banana model. You also have ChatGPT, you have Imagen 3, 4, you have Flux, Flux Ultra, Runway as well. You can turn images into videos if you want. So all of this is on Adobe Firefly. I did tell them that they should be doing a much better job at promoting these things. Like, why am I the one that should promote this? You know, I do think they can do a much better job at promoting these things through social media posts, like create incredible image to video posts that go viral, etc., etc. I think that could be a good play for them. We'll see if they do take my tips, but we'll see. Big Bear AI to me is again one of those stocks in that basket of no, just no. Um, I'm not touching that. There's literally nothing special to that company, to that name, other than the fact that they added AI after Big Bear. You can look at their last results. I mean, what's the point? Why would you buy? That's the thing. Why would you buy Big Bear over another software player or AI player out there? I see, other than maybe some meme momentum of the stock. But other than that, there's literally little value to be found there. Thoughts on Corif insiders selling a lot of? I mean, when the lockup period is over, there's usually a lot of selling. It's nothing new. Do they think the stock is overvalued? Remember that they hold the stock at a much, much cheaper price, which probably also means that they still have, not all of them, but a lot of them still have a lot of shares. So yeah, of course, the company goes public. Maybe they have some personal plans, right? They want to sell shares. They want to buy a house. Maybe they have kids. Maybe they want a vacation. Maybe they want to buy a boat. Who knows? Plenty of reasons why they would sell shares. Is it overvalued? I don't think so. I don't think it's overvalued at the moment. Don't forget that I'm pretty sure that insiders would have loved it if the stock was at $180 and not at 90, 93. Could have made twice as much money. But I am also pretty sure that a lot of them still have a lot of shares. I just bought Adobe yesterday. Interesting you're talking about. I mean, people ask questions. I answer. And I've been talking about Adobe for a little while now. We'll see what they report next week. But later today, we do have Salesforce, which is going to be interesting. C3 AI, previously something else, not AI in the name. No, also I just don't see why. Just too many names out there that are just way more interesting than that. So yeah, is another one where I just say no, skip it or flip it if you can. I'm bullish on robot stocks. Do you think Tesla will be front runner? Robots will be here quicker than we think. Robots already are here. Humanoid robots quicker than we think. What do we think? Do we think humanoid robots will be here tomorrow, next quarter, next year, this year? I don't know. Humanoid robots at scale is probably a year out, maybe year and a half out. I think so. Will Tesla be a front runner? Tesla is definitely going to be a winner there because again, vertical integration is of extreme importance, and I think they have that. Right? They already make cars, so they can make robots. They are making robots. So yes, Tesla is definitely going to be one of the big winners. There. So the only company, Amazon, is a huge robotics company as well. I believe Meta is also now working on robots, right? Wouldn't be surprised if Apple comes out with something eventually. And then, of course, you've got the Chinese. Don't underestimate the Chinese. So yeah, that's my answer. Am I still interested? I did make a post the day before that Chagee, the Chinese tea company, reported last week. Look, it's a very interesting company. I know, quite boring, right? Tea? Who cares about tea? Well over 2 billion people care about tea on this planet, which makes sense. If you've got India, you've got China, you've got the Brits, and you've got a lot of other countries out there that drink tea more than anything else. Water is number one, tea is number two as the most popular drinks out there. CEO is it's actually an incredible story. Company is growing very, very quickly. Of course, it has a lot of competition in China, and then, of course, Starbucks as well. It is expanding outside of China. The problem that I have here is that the stock got crushed after they reported earnings um, well, what they told us 3 months before what did not reflect in the earnings report. So that was quite strange. So can you trust management? Can you not trust management? That's an issue. That's an issue. Um, but it is a very interesting company. It's definitely not expensive. It's definitely not expensive, but again, you have to trust. You have to trust management when you buy a stock. And I do think that they've lost a lot of trust more recently. Look who we have here, Jose, coming in with a nice comment here. Hopefully, you did drink some tea. Do they have tea in Florida, or is it just alligator juice in Florida? So Chagee, yeah, it went public this year. Has very good margins. So the thing here, they can also play with that. They can play with their margins, like lower it to grow faster. But then if you lower it, then of course you're not going to pay the same price as before. It used to grow faster. GMV is the issue here, I would say. GMV is the issue here. But they are growing fast. They are also coming, and they are already in the United States. So it is a very interesting company. Then again, do we need to get exposure to this? Probably not. Probably not. Just an interesting story to follow. Maybe at one point, it might just be too cheap to ignore, right? Maybe. But for now, it's just on the watch list, and maybe yes, in the too hard to grasp bucket, I think. So that's Chagee for you right now. Let's see if we have some other news here, market wise. Let's see. Ford reports 3.9% increase in US sales for August. Not bad. Not bad. Turkey is the number one in tech. Really? I thought Turkey would have been quite high on the coffee scale, chart scale. Okay, but you say consumption per capita, so I guess, okay. Interesting. Did not know that. SoFi Technologies has launched the SoFi Agentic AI ETF, targeting next-generation AI companies, including autonomous vehicles, cybersecurity, and semiconductor. The fund tracks 30 components, maybe companies, from NVIDIA to Intuitive Surgical to John Deere, with a 0.69% fee. Very nice number, this one. PayPal and Venmo users get 12 months free trial of Perplexity's $200 annual pro subscription, including access to the AI startup Comet browser. US users can sign up via PayPal app starting Wednesday. So guys, in the United States, you know what to do. You know what to do. If you have PayPal, you have Venmo, you get a year of Perplexity Pro for free. So do it. Let me even retweet that so everybody knows about it. Whatever I can do to pump up PayPal, I will. And I do have Perplexity Pro, even as I am a very, very big Google bull. Is this okay? So here are basically all of the analyst comments on Google after the DOJ ruling. And Newbie, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Welcome to the Couch Investor Group. So we've got some weakish price targets, right? So, I mean, this could have been a bit higher. Bernstein and Piper Sandler, come on, guys, pump it up a little bit more. Rosenblatt at 224, Evercore ISI 240, Wedbush 245, Needham, Laura Martin, very good analyst, $260, Bank of America 252, Goldman 235, Barclays 250 with an overrate rating, Citizen 250, and then a KeyBank 265, what we've seen before. Fed Waller. Tariffs aren't going to cause long-run inflation. We know we'll have a blip of inflation, but it won't be permanent, a bit like the comments from Jerome Powell 2 weeks ago, 1 week and a half ago. I appreciate that. That's why we're here. That's why we do the live streams. That's why we do the videos as well. And that's why, well, all of it is free. It's not behind the paywall or anything. So I do appreciate all of the support. What else do we have? Lots of comments from Fed Waller here. We could see multiple cuts, he said. Whether it's every meeting or every other, we will need to see what the data says. We don't need to go in lock sequence of rate cuts. I've been clear that I think we should cut at the next meeting, which is in September. My other colleagues have a much higher neutral rate. The Fed's independence is critical, and believe we have an independent Fed, because there has been a lot of talk about the Fed being political, which, I mean, when a certain president does pick the Fed chair, then, well, in a way, it is a political appointee. Some say, I think on Shamat with the All In podcast, did say that we should maybe put all of the available data on the blockchain so it's available to everyone. And maybe we don't need a human to decide, like one human, although there is a meeting, to decide whether or not rates should go higher, should go lower, etc., etc. I mean, we are in 2025, so some of the things can evolve. Some of the things can and maybe need to be more automated. Maybe give it to an AI, put it on the blockchain, put it out there available for everyone. Just an idea. Then got some Apple price target upgrades. Cool. We're not interested in that. Polestar posts $1.2 billion of a loss on $739 million impairment charge. Okay. We are back. It's like every day the same thing. Every day, a minute or two before the market opens, the stream decides to reconnect for some reason or another. Spotify has been probably one of the names that have gone under the radar for the last couple of years, and it has absolutely crushed the market. We're going to have a look at Spotify in a bit. But first, let's prepare for the market opens, and hopefully Jose will come in with his ding, 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 ding. And if not, then not. What can we do? What can we do? Only he can open the market the way he does. We have still a couple of seconds here. Yeah, and there is also another company I will have to look at because someone has asked about it. Don't worry, I did not forget your comment. And so the market is open. Way more green than yesterday, that's for sure. Way more green than yesterday. I am putting the red ones at the top first, and we'll see over the next couple of seconds. And here we have Dominic coming in clutch, ding, 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 for the market open. Thank you for that. So the heat map will update. Voila. Right now. Magic. So Google is up 7.4%. HIMS is up 3.6%. So I'm quite happy this this featured in yesterday's video. Apple up 3%, Reddit up 2.8, Bitmine 2.2, Rocket Lab 1.6, Iron another 1.4, Nebius 1.3, Applied Digital 1%. All the rest here under it are up barely. PayPal is down today. Why is this happening? Why should it be down? Like I don't get this. I don't get this market. Why should PayPal not be up today? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Duolingo down another 1.8. So let's see. Let's see if it does reach that 1.70, 1.75 dollars. That's I think where I'll start adding to my little position in Duolingo. Marcos, great penalty last weekend, sir. Way to bounce back. Thank you very much. Although I don't think it was a penalty, but the game's rigged. I tell you, the game is rigged. I mean, you do whatever. I mean, if you need the money, you need the money. But I don't see why. I don't see why we should be selling any shares right now. Let's have a look. Let's have a look, shall we, at all of these stocks right now. So, whoops. We have Duolingo 286. So again, a nice area here. Let's see if we do drop lower or not, or if we see a little god candle here. CoreWeave down another 1%. So not really that much of a change since yesterday's lows. Intel $24, $24 down 1.4% today. AMD is again down a little bit. What we have seen a nice little rebound when it went under the 50-day moving average yesterday. United Health flat. AST still okay in that range right here, pretty close to the $50 mark. Nvidia is basically flat today. Palantir also. New Holdings, same thing. Has been. I mean, this was great. Good earnings report. Stock went higher and higher. So congrats to those shareholders. I know a lot of people have been complaining, oh, stock doesn't move. The company does what it should be doing. Voila. I only had to complain a little bit about PayPal being red, and now it's green. Hopefully it stays green. Let's look at the green players. So Google now only up 6.6%. We of course have that big gap here, but again, it's a big overhang on the stock. Stock is of course overbought right now. Let's see if we can stay above 220, 225. HIMS, like clockwork, 200-day moving average, bam, rebounds just like before. Even though it did drop a little bit below, but it rebounds. And here again, quite close rebounds as well. So that's HIMS. What else do we have? Bitmine. It is a very interesting setup right now. Very interesting setup. Nebius still around the same prices. Same with Rocket Lab. Same with Iron. I do want it to drop. Do want the stock to drop. Because I do want to own a little bit more. Applied Digital flat. Novo Nordisk up 1%. Oscar is green, so here as well. Went under the 20, close to the 50-day moving average yesterday. Rebounded. Micron is the only one I still own that is yet to report their quarterly figures. Will be approximately towards the end, estimated, I think, towards the end of September. Based on the commentary and even the updated guidance that we got, I don't see why this is not going to be a very, very good quarter. Meta, one of my better buys of the last 3 years, doing very well. SoFi, basically flat right now. So yeah, all in all, so it's a good day today. I don't know, some of you, what did you buy yesterday on the dip? Because it wasn't a crash, it was just a dip yesterday. Options market still calling for a $240 Google by December 19. won't surprise me. Won't surprise me at all. Let's say September, December 19. Don't forget that that's also after their next earnings report and probably a rate cut. So I would not be I would not be surprised. Do I have? Yes, I do. I did have an opinion a year ago, and I had an opinion not that long ago as well, and two different opinions. Um, you can find a video from last year when the stock was here. I said it didn't make any sense, and that's why I think Rocket Lab was a much, much better play here. And then you can find my second video right around here, where I said, actually, it does make a little bit more sense here. And what has happened is the stock doubled since. So, not saying I moved the market. I'm just saying that the timing of the videos were quite good for once. Because sometimes I do make a video and then a day later it's like, oh, this aged very bad. I'm like, since when does wine age in a day? It just doesn't make any sense. But okay. For example, Circle. Circle is at 120 right now. I made a video about Circle when it was, I think, yeah, maybe around the same price. When it just went public. And I said, well, the title is watch this before, don't buy the stock before you watch the video or whatever. And I was quite bearish on the valuation and the hype around it. Of course, the stock, since it was a fresh IPO and there was quite a lot of momentum, the stock went even higher and higher. But guess what? Guess what? Stock is down 60% since June 24. So yeah, I do think it aged okay right now. Other than that, yeah, I had to go and look at a specific company because someone asked it twice or three times, and we are in a good mood today, so why not? Why not? Let's see. It would be useful if you're still watching, do let me know what the company was. If not, let me just scroll back a while. Where was it? Yeah, in the meantime, also let me know what you guys have been buying yesterday, or maybe you didn't buy anything yesterday because maybe you thought just like me, maybe things weren't that interesting. No, there is this good question from Hidden Pickles. Do you think the narrative is moving away from core data center providers like CoreWeave and Nebius and towards Bitcoin miners transitioning into AI infrastructure like Iron Cipher and Hive? No, I don't think so. I think the market is just paying now. Maybe I don't even think the market is paying more attention. I think retail again is ahead of the market with the likes of Iron Cipher, Hive. I haven't looked at, but I mean, when you look at the scale and the revenue, of course, CoreWeave is far ahead. But yeah, no, just that the market right now might be chasing the next thing because it doesn't want to miss it. But I don't think there is a narrative that is going to move away from CoreWeave or Nebius. I think both of them are still in their growth cycle, hyper growth cycle, actually. It's just that there are other smaller players out there that are also moving fast in the right direction. The reason why Cypher has been doing also very well on the backs of Iron, I would say, because they didn't report they reported back start of August, so a month ago. The reason I chose Iron over the rest, I still have Nebius and now I have a small position in CoreWeave as well. I chose Iron because of the management. They know what they're doing. I think management reminds me a lot of Peter Beck from Rocket Lab. Maybe it's the accent, I don't know. But it's very important to have a very, very good and competent management team, especially in this space right now. And yes, I know it's not the same as a Nebius, right? Because they're not really focused on the software side of things. That's fine. Again, $5-6 billion company, quite a lot of upside in this whole AI wave. Vladimir also asked here, GTA 6, whenever that will come out, I guess I'll have to buy a new PC, and maybe we can play online with the couch community whenever that happens. With regards to Take Two, I don't know. I don't know. I think Jose and myself we talked a lot about some gaming stocks in the past. This was it, um, and how only Roblox, only Roblox and Nintendo is just more recently that they did beat the market, and so I don't think it's that interesting. So Himanshu, Himanshu, yeah, that's the name. Um, this is the company you want me to look at. Interesting. I mean, interesting stock chart. What does it do? That's the. It's gold. It's gold. Okay. Gold does not really interest me that much. Oh, wait, is it gold? I think it is. Or not. Um, maybe it's not gold. Thanks for saving my last game. Yeah, I know. I have people in my other league as well that have Captain Bruno Fernandez. I was like, no, please miss. I should have missed. I should have missed that penalty. Would have cost all of you captains a lot of points. Yeah, Fiserv is a company I have on my study list uh, because it is indeed a very interesting play at the moment. Um, Hinge Health. You know, at first when you said Hinge, I thought it was another one of those dating apps thing, like Bumble or whatnot. I know I've seen people with Bumble in their portfolio. I'm like, why would you? Why would you? Hinge Health. Hmm. Develops healthcare software for joint and muscle health. Very specific. $4.4 billion. Uh, okay. Clearly, not a lot of information about the company. It is growing. Yeah, okay, it's growing. Not that fast. Not that fast. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, maybe I'll put it on the study list. Do you think it's wise to add more into SoFi? Then it's depends how big of your position, how big your position is. Um, it depends. It depends. I'm not buying today because it's already quite big, but I'm definitely not selling. Definitely not selling. Uh, all in on Roblox and Labubu. I mean, PopMart has been doing extremely well. Roblox has been doing extremely well, even with all of the controversy around around the company. So yeah, Figma has come down nicely. That's good. Figma has come down nicely, which I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. I mean, look at this. Pew. Is this? Do we remember what price they went public? Was it $62 or so, or more, or less? Sorry. So from the top, from the peak, it's now down 53%. It's I guess it makes a lot more sense today than it did back then. That's for sure. That's for sure. Um, the question now becomes: is this still a better buy than an Adobe or not? That's the I guess that's the question right now. Um, Still $31 billion, $32 billion in market cap. Yes, it is growing faster, but it's also generating a hell of a lot less revenue than an Adobe. Disney. It's been a while since I haven't looked at Disney. What is it? Still 110? 105? 118. Okay. 118 for Disney. I mean, the company is definitely a better company today than a year or two ago, for sure, generating more free cash flow. Um, but it's not a fast growing company, right? It's not a fast growing company right now. So, yeah. Ooh, whoa. Google 229. Very nice. So, is Disney a buy? Depends. Do you really want to own Disney or do you just want to look at a new company? Because to me, looking at new companies, it has to be maybe better than what I own. If it's not, then why? Why would I? Mm, have to drink a lot of water today. What's my opinion on Broadcom? Tremendous company that reports tomorrow after market, after hours. Tremendous company though. Thoughts on ASML, Fortinet, Dell, Pinterest, Duolingo, and oh my, there's a lot of names here. So quick fire. ASML, great company, monopoly. Um, don't expect it to crush the market anytime soon, although I do think it's a market beater. Fortinet, I think one of the cheapest cybersecurity names out there. Dell, can gets you exposure into the AI wave, but is that the best name to get you exposure in the AI wave? I don't think so. Pinterest, good turnaround. Company is definitely doing better today than it did a couple of years ago. But again, it gives you social media / advertising exposure. Maybe Meta is a better play, no? I think so. Duolingo, I think it's disrespected by the market. I think the crash doesn't make a lot of sense. I own it. I own it because I do think it's a great company. And the market just doesn't understand it, but it will understand it again 3 months from now when it reports earnings, and the market is like, oh, actually, it is a very good business. It is a good business. So that's Duolingo. Lemonade is a company I used to own and follow quite closely for a long period of time, and then I just lost interest in it. I still viewed it the same thing. Um, Still has a long-term future and growth path ahead for Lemonade. GitLab. GitLab does report. Really? Today? Interesting. I do know that the stock did rebound nicely. Voila. But it got rejected at the 200-day moving average. But I do think they have the opportunity later today to again show the market that AI is not destroying the business. If they can do that, then I do think that the stock moves up. So if they do report, they report later today, then I probably do a GitLab Salesforce video, earnings video later today. CoreWeave dropping on insider selling. Yeah, I mean the lockup period expired, I think a week or so ago, so that they have time. So we're back to prices not seen since a week ago. So stock is also retracing here, 50%. Whoever has the Fibonacci, Abruzzi, whatever type of thing, do let me know in the chat how that looks, how that one looks. Have you looked at any defense military contractors, meaning like the Lockheed Martins, RTX, Raytheon type of Rheinmetall companies, or other specific ones? Yes, I am. That's why it's like automatically comes out. Yes, I am. Yes, a lot of questions today, but that's good. That's why we do live streams. Because unfortunately, the comment section under the videos, I do spend less time. Unless you are a member, then it's much easier to filter out. Because otherwise, I spend too much time deleting bots, and YouTube does nothing about. Like yesterday, there were 50 comments from bots under one video after 10 minutes. Deleting 50 comments manually is very, very annoying. Very annoying. And that's why live streams are just much better, because bots don't write in the chat on live streams just yet. And so, yeah. So Bruno Fernandez, thank you. Obrigado. If only you could. Yeah, I know. I know. Imagine not being able to beat not a championship team, not a League One team, but a League Two team. Pathetic. Really pathetic. Um, but I do hope the coach stays for a long period of time. Yeah, honestly, I thought this would have been the announcement yesterday. Um, but yeah, I do think eventually it does become a position in the sovereign wealth fund that they're trying to create. Um, yes, managing bot comments is very frustrating. I mean, I have a list of countless of specific words and stocks and cryptos that they try to pump in the comment section, but they always come up with new ones. So, for example, if there's like this QAI16K, then the next day it's QAI17K. Then how can you combat this? YouTube can probably do something, but um, yeah, but again, the thing with the script is that, like I just said, every single day they just change one letter or one number, and it's like it's unstoppable. But from YouTube's perspective, I'm pretty sure that with AI or whatnot, they can see that if in 10 seconds 50 comments pop up with the exact same word, then it should be auto deleted. Shouldn't be that much of an issue. Um, Also, with scripts and all of that, again, I'm not that good with all of it, but if I have to give access to certain bots, give them access to my YouTube channel, I'm not comfortable with it because they might have some security issues. I definitely do not want to lose access to my own YouTube channel. And then you have trolls like yesterday who come in the comment section and say, Bruno Fernandez, thank you for the video. You should look at QAI one, whatever. And I was like, wait a second. Have the bots evolved or is this some elite trolling? So whoever wrote this, congratulations. Um, congratulations. But yeah, anyways, going back to stocks, we still have more green than red on the watch list here. Marvell is red, 1.5% now. Intel is red, CoreWeave is red, Duolingo a little bit, SoFi a little bit here as well. But other than that, nothing too crazy. Heat map wise, this is basically it. Quiet day, I would say, all in all. Big after hours earnings in Salesforce and GitLab, I guess. So we'll cover that. The Dow is down 0.33%, S&P is up 0.31%, and the Nasdaq is up 0.86%. I do wonder what Alibaba is doing today. Alibaba is red, 2.2%. Okay, it is what it is. Am I adding to Google? No, I'm not adding to Google at these levels, even though I still think it's cheap. But as you know, I have a decent position. I have a decent position in Google. So can you delete Reddit from? I took profits from $95 to $230, but now I don't want to see it rip anymore. Reddit is it's up another 7%. Yeah, I mean, tell me about it. Tell me about it. We touched on it at $100, $140, $30, and it just kept on going higher and higher. So, I mean, if you took profits from 95 to 230, that means that you still made a decent amount. So, don't be chasing. Is what I can say. Don't be chasing. Rocket Lab. I did buy more Rocket Lab last week or 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago here, around $41. It's up now back to 48. Okay, cool. We'll see. I'll, of course, if we do get more of an actual correction in some stocks like this one, At what price would I add more? Either in the upcoming days, if we do stay around these prices and it does form a little base here, or we'll see, maybe at 270, 275 or so, but eventually it doesn't really make that much sense to me. So probably at around between 270 and 287. But we'll see what happens in the upcoming days with the stock market. Yeah, I know. Um, Stocks move extremely quickly these days. Like on the upside or the downside, they move very, very quickly. That's what I've been saying, right? Even with these flash crashes. In January, the DeepSeek drama, stocks went down 20, 30, 40% in a matter of a couple of days. Then we recovered. April, from the end of March until the Liberation Day or after Liberation Day, stocks went down also 30, 40% in a matter of a week or two. But then we recovered. So yeah, it seems like things can go up extremely quickly in a matter of a couple of days. Does that mean that you have to focus on the market every single? No, I don't think so. Maybe set some alerts on whether you're using Robinhood or any other app out there. Set some alerts like stocks that you're interested in. It's at $90. If it goes to 80 or 75, maybe I'd be interested. And then when it does hit that price, you will get a notification and says, "Oh, stock has hit your price." You can go and see if you want to buy or not. You can, of course, do the options strategy as well. You can sell puts. So also a strategy. Not everybody is comfortable with options. That's also completely fine. So it is what it is. That said, that said, I'm done here. We'll see each other later today in the probably Salesforce slash GitLab earnings report recap video. Maybe there will be a video in the meantime. I don't know. We'll see. And if not, we'll see each other tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we'll probably do another small, short recap of the companies that did report earnings later today, and then talk about whatever there is to talk about. So thank you all for joining me this morning, afternoon, evening. Really appreciate that. Thank you all to all the new members, and especially to Charles for the incredible super chat. Really appreciate all of the support.